times what places I like best. Well, I've had to base my answers on the friendly people I have found. And if you're inclined to take the time, this is where you'll find my stomping grounds. Just take a little piece of PEI and old Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, Quebec and Newfoundland, Alberta and Manitoba, Ontario and BC, and you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. And you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. Yeah, there was a time with a buddy of mine when a freight train was our abode, and we found people in this here land that would help a guy along the road. Some of them lived in the country and others lived in town, but these are the people that made me proud to say this is my stomping grounds. Just take a little piece of PEI and old Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, Quebec and Newfoundland, Alberta and Manitoba, Ontario and BC, and you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. And you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. And now you've heard my answer. It's one I hope you'll understand. It's just my way of kind of saying thank you to the people of this land. And it doesn't matter really where you're from, you can spread the word around. Wherever you find a heart that's kind, you're in a part of my stomping grounds. Just take a little piece of PEI and old Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, Quebec and Newfoundland, Alberta and Manitoba, Ontario and BC, and you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. And you'll have found the stomping grounds of all my friends and me. Just take a little piece of PEI and old Saskatchewan, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, Quebec and Newfoundland, Alberta and Manitoba, Ontario and BC. This here next song is a story about the fellow that was hitchhiking away down in southern Nevada. Along come this big long truck loaded down with potatoes, and the trucker put on the air brakes and pulled over to the side and said, "Jump in, son, throw in your bag and the one you're carrying." And he said, "Where all you been, son?" Well, he said, "I've been everywhere, man," and that's the name of this one. I was hitchhiking down along the dusty when a mucker road. Along came a transport truck with a high canvas covered load. If you're going to win a muckamuck, with me you can ride. I climbed into the cab, I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand. I said, "Listen, bud, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man, I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man, I braved the mountains there, man. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere." "Where you been?" he says. "Oh, let me see now, a couple of places. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, South Dakota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Matamala, Paloma, Durango, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Manitoba, Warren, Calamadella, and McKellar. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've braved the mountains there, man. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere." "Is that right?" he says, after a long pause. And I says, "Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kingston, Texarkana, Monterey, Faraday, Santa Fe, Kalamazoo, Spin Rock, Halifax, Little Rock, Argus, Tennessee, Hennessy, Chippewa, Spirit Lake, Grand Lake, Other Lake, Larder Lake, for Pete's sake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I braved the mountains there, man. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere." This truck driver turned around again to me and said, "Look, buddy, if you ain't Hank Snow, don't you ever shut up?" And I says, Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Omaha, New York, Newark, Costa Rica, Utah, Montreal, Springfield, Bakersfield, Shreveport, Hackensack, Cadillac, Fond du Lac, Davenport, Idaho, Mexico, Argentina, Diamantina, Pasadena, Catalina. See what I mean, Jack? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, bare man. I've breathed the mountains, dear man. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere. And this truck driver turned around again to me and said, look at here, buddy. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of you talking about all these United States cities and towns. I'm a Canadian truck driver, and I want to hear a little bit of the North Country for a change. Well, I said there's always North Bay and heading up into northern Ontario to places like Temagami, New Liskeard, Haileybury, Cobalt, Timmins, Ansonville, Kirkland Lake, Cochrane, Capas, Casing, Hearst, Geraldton, Beardsmore, and the Lakehead. And heading from Nipigon down 17 into Scriber, Marathon, White River, Wawa, and Sault Ste. Marie. Heading eastward from the Sioux on 17 to Thessalon, Blind River, Elliott Lake, Manitoulin Island, Espanola, Sudbury, Cache Bay, Sturgeon Falls, and back to North Bay. Heading down south now, number 11 to Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Aurelia, Barrie, Aurora, Newmarket, and even Stouffville, and another town we all know well called Toronto, Plattsburgh, Albuquerque, Colorado, Winnipeg, Rexburg, Vicksburg, Colorado, Laramie, the Alamo, Chattanooga, Vancouver, Jasper, Nebraska, Alaska, Palaga, Caribou, Waterloo, Kalamazoo, Kansas City, Sioux City, Dutch City. What a pity, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, fair man. I breathe the mountains, dear man. I travel, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere. Well, this truck driver looked at me again and he said, don't you know nothing about the Maritimes at all, boy? Yeah. He had the audacity to ask me, of course, you Newfoundlanders wouldn't understand that word. That's a big word I learned in Skinner's Pond School, Prince Edward Island. Didn't really mean that, you know, but I had to say it anyhow. Yeah, he says, don't you know nothing about the Maritimes? I said, look, mate, I can tell by the big spuds in the back of your rig you must be a spud picker from Prince Edward Island. I can tell you that much about the Maritimes. You must be friends with them there blue nosers from Nova Scotia and the New Brunswick herring soakers. Not to mention anything, of course, about them squid jigging lads from over Newfoundland. Now, the run of the towns in the Maritimes goes like this, mate. There's Moncton, Chatham, St. John, Campbellton, Grand Falls, Sackville, Newcastle, Fredericton, Charlottetown, Summerside, Glace Bay, Annapolis, Spring Hill, Sydney, Manchester, Glasgow, Antigonish, Windsor, Truro, Gander, Bonavista, St. John's, Stonebrook, Waterbass, and Mister. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts, fair man. I breathe the mountains there, man. But there's just one place I haven't been. Tramp on the gas and roller, man. Soon we're going to be there, man. Soon we're going to be there.
Line to Newfoundland, where I made a living in iron mine. When I got my fill, I went to Nova Scotia, and I fished the salty waters for a time. Passing through Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick, I could see the rocks and cliffs of solid stone, listening to the seagulls calling to each other. Made me miss my darling and my distant home. Canadian Pacific, carry me 3,000 miles through the valleys and the forests to the sunshine of her smile. Across the plains and the rugged mountains, keep this wandering boy from home. Canadian Pacific, take me to my baby's arms. The Atlantic disappeared on the horizon, and Quebec lay waiting for me down the track. For a while I drove a truck to keep from starving. In Ontario I was a lumberjack. Manitoba and Saskatchewan and followed, where the wheat fields and the old Red River flow. In the quiet hours your whistle on the prairie touched my heart and set my memories aglow. I could feel the nearness of her warm sweet kisses when you rolled into Alberta westward bound. I worked on an oil rig to make some money for a ticket to the sweetest girl around. Pushing on past Lake Louise in all its splendor, where the trees and Rockies touch the sky above. I got to British Columbia and heaven. On your tracks I made it back to my true love. Canadian Pacific, carry me 3,000 miles through the valleys and the forests to the sunshine of her smile. Across the plains and rugged mountains, keep this wonder boy from harm. Canadian Pacific, take me to my baby's arms. Canadian Pacific, carry me 3,000 miles through the valleys and the forests to the sunshine of her smile.
Sa chanson, elle voulait que je chante sa chanson, mais j'ai oublié le refrain. Si tu pouvais attendre jusqu'à demain, mon amour, jusqu'à demain. Viens te coller sur moi jusqu'au matin. Viens te coller sur moi jusqu'au matin. Que mon épaule soit pour toi l'endroit le plus chaud qui existera jamais. Pour toi et moi. Que tu crois en toi et moi, que mon amour était sincère, oublier les erreurs que j'ai pu faire, mais c'est ta chanson à toi. La tempête est passée depuis longtemps. La tempête est passée depuis longtemps, et tous les chemins de traverse, les raccourcis qui mènent à ta tristesse sont